Okay, so I'm going to read you 3 ideas that came out of the business news this week, and you're going to tell me in one word whether you think these ideas will flop or fly. Let's get started. First, Chipotle is launching a major ad campaign to combat its E.coli scare. Alan, flop or fly?
Oh, I'd say fly just because I root for Chipotle. I think they're a good company. The problem is they better know that they've gotten the E. coli thing under control, because if you do a big advertising campaign and then have another outbreak, you're in trouble.
Great point. Sean, what do you think?
I'd say flop because they're emphasizing the negative. They're accentuating the negative.
I say fly if they do it the right way. I think a little humility goes a very long way with consumers, and this clearly has some cultish followers, so I think they could do it. They do. They want to go back. They just don't want to get sick. Number 2, the Playboy Mansion is on the market for $200 million, making it America's most expensive home for sale. Sean, you're our real estate guru. What say you, flop or fly?
Apparently it's in horrible condition. I remember interviewing Hugh Hefner there many years ago.
Wow.
He was in his pajamas and he's like chain drinking Pepsi-Cola.
Well, yeah, and plus he's going to stay.
He's going to stay there. There's a condition that he stays in the house.
Yeah, I'd like to sell my house and say, but I'm going to continue to live there. I mean, come on, that's a flop.
Flop. And Sean, you say flop. All right, I say fly because there's so much crazy money out there. Someone's going to want it as a trophy property and not going to care that he has to live there. He's 89.
There's less crazy money out there than there was 2 weeks ago.
True, very true. All right, we're at a standoff there. All right, I got to bring this one up. In the Republican presidential debate yesterday, Ted Cruz laid out a major diss to New Yorkers by sneering at our so-called New York values. For his political future, is this a flop or a fly? Alan?
You know, criticizing New York in a Republican primary is normally a pretty safe bet, but I have to say this speaks to the genius of Donald Trump, because he turned that into a flop for Ted Cruz. It did not, you know, his 9/11 reference was brilliant, and I think Cruz regrets he ever brought it up.
And Sean?
I think this, and the comeback of New York and the cleaning up of New York and the safety of New York, and it's become much more of a beloved kind of destination for Americans than it was.
You say that as
yeah,
a New
I say
Yorker.
that as a Chelsean.
I'm a 20-year New Yorker too. I say flop. I just think, you know, there are more Republican donors here than I think most people realize, but I just think it's a flop in general. Look at the Daily News today as an example.